I have a story to tell, but before I get into the story, I'm gonna tell you a customer's situation yesterday. She prepaid me for ceramic coating and a new grill on a BMW, and she came yesterday for me to wrap her passenger front window because someone had broken into her car and stole a little purse, wallet, something like that. And she just moved here from the Bronx, and she was like, "Oh my God, my car is nasty." Look, man, everything happens for a reason. Forget the car, like you're okay. So take this negative situation that happened, and how can you profit from that? How can you benefit and turn it into a positive situation? So I said, man, it got your attention. So now everywhere you go, you need to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings and what you're leaving out. And welcome to H. You know what I'm saying? You have to just be aware of what's going on. So then she was like thanking me about that stuff. So it led me into the story I'm about to tell you. Sometimes the worst things that happen to you are the best things that happen to you. You got to just keep headed in the right direction, man. So when I was back at one of my old shops, I had a really, really bad situation with a landlord, and man, I didn't know how to take it. I said, man, how am I gonna, my wife's pregnant, my dad had cancer, he took all my savings, he more than doubled my rent, and then he bring in his cars and his family's cars for what? Guess what? When I would do the 4 tires on their S classes or their brakes, man, that's always $2,000, right? Minimum, right? So he would come, put his hand out like that. I put the keys in his hand because he was on the phone. He'd walk to the end of my showroom to the door, exiting my building, and he would look at me and be like, "You're not gonna charge your landlord, are you?" I said, "I wouldn't do that, dude. Why would I do that?" And he would leave. So man, it was just a bad situation. I asked 5 of my friends, my most successful friends, like, "What do you recommend, man? I'm stuck. I don't know what to do." And the last one told me, "I'm gonna pray for you." Nobody had any advice for me, man. And you remember I always say the entrepreneurs have to be too stupid. We don't know how to lose. Well, I was stupid because I didn't know how to lose. I figured it out. I did. Came to the I-10 Beltway, purchased my property. Just me, myself, and I in the bank. No partners, no investors. And my wife. And looking back now, it was the best thing that can happen to me. I used to thought it was the worst thing that could happen to me, and that was the best thing that could happen to me. I went this morning, I'm going to TikTok about it, about a CV axle getting rebuilt. And the guy was telling me a story, so you can hear in the video him talking to me. You know, I ask questions, I talk to people. And he says that he was working for a company for 6 years rebuilding CV axles in Dallas. And back then, there was no independent shops doing it, so he had over 100 axles coming in daily. And they asked him to come open a shop in Pasadena, and he did. And then eventually it led him to be in charge of 3 shops in Houston, and they didn't want to pay him any more than running 1 store. So he told the boss, man, like, "Dude, I need more money. This is stressful." And the boss said, "Man, you can pack your shit and go." Cocky, because he was the only CV axle rebuilder in Dallas and H-Town. Man, that's huge. And you know what the rebuilder did? By Saturday, he said, "Man, Saturday's my last day. Thank you." He said, "Okay, no problem. I'll back your check and go Saturday." So Saturday, he said he was telling me he collected his check, and by Monday he was in the location he was at right now. Do 1 day hiccup, and he was there. And man, that brought back memories for me, which I'll get to in a second, right? So he's been in 30 years rebuilding axles every day, and it's just him and the customer. So if he does, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 15, 20 axles a day, the dude's making a couple grand a week. His rent was only $650. When there's a will, there's a way. Always, man. A chip in a chair, right? So when I had my situation with my landlord, man, for I think 8 months, I had to keep it a secret from my customers, from my team, and from everybody that I was purchasing a property. I was in the middle of it because it takes time. And man, every time he had to come, I just wanted to punch him in the throat. I said, "Man, I'm not going to get nothing with that." And then I thought about it. I said, "Man, all the lifts, the line machine, all the stuff is not in my name. It's in his name. It was supposed to be mine, according to the deal, but it wasn't mine, man. It didn't have my name on it." So I was like, fuck, even worse, right? So anyways, fast forward about 7.5 months later, I signed on the dotted line, and that property was mine. They handed me the keys. On the way to my shop, now mind you, I hadn't told anybody yet, because if I tell anybody, these people were always at my shop like hovering around me, right? So can you imagine if I tell you, hey man, I'm opening a shop soon, I'm moving soon, and then you come to my shop when they're there, you say, hey Walter, where's your new shop? That's I can't do that, man. So I felt like I kept it a secret from my customers, which is like the opposite of what you want to do. So anyways, when I'm on the way back to the shop from just signing on the property, I get a phone call from my right hand man at the time, and he says, man, they're here, they found out about your property, and they're putting notice signs everywhere for you to vacate within 30 days. And that was on a Friday. He said, what do you want me to do, take it down? I said, no, I'll leave it there. He'll take it off himself on Monday. Now mind you, man, I had a whole operative 12-bay shop with a massive office and showroom, man. We had a lot of stuff in there. Friday, I get to work, man. I go pick up a Hertz rental. And one of my guys, I didn't know this, but he used to drive 18-wheelers. So, man, boom, he's driving the Hertz rental. I got the biggest one I can get without a CDL. And I learned from the fire department how to do staging. So I had my team getting stuff from my shop, placing it in a row. Then I had another team filling in the Hertz rental. When I got to this location, I had a team taking everything out of the Hertz rental, putting the lines over here, and I repeated the process. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I had been calling my sign guy to take my DV Autosport sign with me. He couldn't make it, so I said, "Shit!" So I call all the sign companies, and nobody could do it. Everybody was booked. So I said, "Man, I can't leave my sign here, but I'm gonna have to leave it here." So Sunday around 4:00 in the afternoon, he called me. Hey, Rolly, man, I forgot about you. I can squeeze you in. You want me to come? I said, hell yeah, I want you to come. Man, I'm gonna lift my damn sign there, dude. So he pulled up. As they're taking the signs down, I'm taking everything I got, you know. And can you imagine when you walk into a shop and I pack it up and close within 2 days and take it somewhere else? That's a lot of work, man. But we orchestrated it perfectly. We got here Monday. I wasn't at the Sunday. I think Sunday at 1:00 in the morning was the last time I stepped foot in that location. I put shades in there. I put palm trees out in the grass. I did a lot of stuff to that shop. And for a moment, I thought to myself, man, let me just sabotage all this stuff. I said, nah, I'll leave it. I'm not that kind of person. They did, however, how do I say this, man? Don't ever underestimate a person who thinks he can do anything, because he might be right one time. And right I was. So my whole story behind this is, whatever you're going through, man, like I feel for you, man, but just shut the fuck up and get back to work, because you don't know what's in plan for you. You don't know what's in store for you. You don't know God's plan for you. So whatever happened to me, I believe at the moment it was the worst thing that happened to me. But now looking back, man, I wouldn't change nothing about it. I'll give you another one, another quick one. This one is personal. Before my collision in May 29th, 2012, man, I was the only wrap shop in the H, and I'll make another podcast about that one, or the only wrap shop in the country. Like I said, I'll make another one about that one. So, man, I was doing great. And one night, I don't know what happened. I was T-bone. I was driving my smart car. Y'all remember my smart car? I was driving my smart car and I was T-bone. Man, put me in a 4-day coma. And before the accident, I had made up my mind, because I didn't know what it felt like to have kids, that I was going to be single forever and not have any kids, to have to build a family, worry about a family, and focus on me, because I have one life to live. Well, during my coma, they had a catheter inserted in my man parts, and somehow they opened the catheter before they took it out of me, and then I started dripping blood. So I'm knocked out the whole time. I don't know this. My mom told me the story, and she just, when she told me, she was crying to me, and she said, Mijo, you know, she explained to me what I just told you about the catheter, and she said, you might not be able to have babies. Well, I got married and we proved her wrong. And now, looking back, that was the best that could happen to me, because now I wouldn't take it back from my family. I got my little boys, my girls, my wife. I would not change anything. Take it from me, man. Whatever you're going through, man, what you can do, give up, keep going. It could be the best thing to happen to you.